Imagine catching what feels like the flu. Fever, headaches. Sounds familiar, right? But within days, your lungs begin filling with fluid. You can barely breathe. Doctors rush you into intensive care, and suddenly, survival is no longer guaranteed. This is Hantavirus, a rare virus so dangerous that people are now comparing it to COVID. But here's the terrifying part. In some ways, it's actually deadlier. Ever since the COVID pandemic, the second people hear the word virus, panic begins. So when Hantavirus recently returned to headlines after a deadly outbreak connected to a cruise ship, people immediately started asking, is this the next COVID? The answer is no. COVID and Hantavirus are very different. COVID spreads extremely easily from person to person. That's why it infected hundreds of millions worldwide. But the one pandemic, depending on age, health, variants, and medical care. Now compare that to Hantavirus. Hantavirus usually does not spread easily between humans. Most people catch it from rats or mice, usually through infected urine, saliva, or droppings. When those dry up, tiny virus particles can float into the air and enter the lungs when someone breathes. So, unlike COVID, you're not likely to catch Hantavirus from standing near strangers. You're more likely to catch it cleaning an attic, basement, garage, or abandoned building filled with rodent waste. But here's the terrifying comparison. While COVID killed a smaller percentage of infected people, Hantavirus kills far more once someone gets seriously infected. Some strains of Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome have death rates around 30% to 40%. That means out of 10 infected people, 3 or 4 may die. Now compare that to COVID. Out of 100 infected people, most survived. That's why experts say COVID was more contagious, but Hantavirus is often more lethal, and the symptoms themselves are horrifying. At first, Hantavirus feels almost harmless. Fever, muscle pain, fatigue, headaches, vomiting. Basically, it can feel exactly like early COVID or the flu. And that's one reason doctors sometimes struggle to recognize it immediately. Because during the first stage, many patients simply think they're sick with something common. Maybe they stay home. Maybe they rest. Maybe they ignore the symptoms completely. But then suddenly, everything changes. My doctors call this Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. Some survivors describe feeling normal one day and unable to breathe the next. Others say it felt like drowning while still awake. And unlike COVID, there's no specific cure, no guaranteed antiviral treatment. Doctors mainly try to keep patients alive with oxygen, ventilators, and intensive care while the body fights the virus itself. Now here's another terrifying difference. COVID felt visible. You saw masks everywhere, people coughing, hospitals full, but Hantavirus feels invisible. A person can inhale infected dust without realizing anything is wrong. No warning signs, no infected crowd, just microscopic particles hiding silently in the air. And what makes the virus even scarier is that rodents carrying it often look completely normal. A mouse in the corner of a garage may not seem dangerous at all, but its droppings could potentially contain a virus deadly enough to destroy someone's lungs. That's why experts tell people to never sweep dry rodent droppings directly, because sweeping throws virus particles into the air. Instead, health officials recommend spraying disinfectant first, wearing gloves and masks, and carefully cleaning contaminated areas. And while Hantavirus is rare, it continues appearing in different countries around the world every year. Recently, the virus made headlines again after suspected infections connected to a cruise ship triggered international monitoring and public fear. For many people, hearing the words virus outbreak immediately brought back memories of lockdowns and panic from 2020. But experts currently say this is not another COVID-level pandemic threat. Still, Hantavirus remains one of the deadliest diseases most people know almost nothing about. Because unlike giant predators or visible dangers, this virus hides in silence, inside dust, inside abandoned rooms, inside places people walk through every day without fear, and sometimes That invisible danger is the scariest kind of all. COVID showed the world how fast a virus can spread. Hantavirus reminds us how deadly a virus can become. One spreads easier, the other kills more aggressively. And together, they prove something terrifying. Some of the deadliest things on Earth are completely invisible.